Hi everybody. We're going to be starting shortly. I'm just going to wait for our speakers for today to join in. And thank you for joining us. We'll be talking about the versatility of stone in interior and exterior spaces with lifestyle design. Thank you all. If you have any questions, please feel free to drop them in. We'll be addressing them at the end of the session. I'm just waiting for Jyoti and Abhinav to join in.
Be logged in right now from
Hi.
Hi.
Hi Tanya, how
I'm
are you?
good. Would you be joining in from the studio's account?
Yeah, actually, let me try it again. I've logged in from the lifestyle account, but
No,
seems
it's from
like
your
it's from
personal
my
account.
personal
So
account.
do you want to just switch once? Yeah.
Yes,
that would be
sure. Okay.
Yes. So I think there's some connectivity issues. So they're going to be back in a minute. Stay connected. Don't drop out. We should be back soon. We'll be having a very interesting conversation on global design and the use of stone in interior and exterior spaces, and they're here. So I'm just going to connect with them. Yes. Hi.
Hi.
Hi. Thank you for joining us today. I'm going to give everybody a quick introduction. Lifestyle design, right? That's how you pronounce it. Okay. So, sorry?
Lifestyle design.
Design. Okay, that's why I checked. I wasn't sure. Yes.
Okay, that's all right.
So, Abhinav Gupta and Jyoti Gupta founded Lifestyle Design with a bold and irreverent vision to make interior design and architecture significant in our lifestyles. They believe that reality can be beaten with imagination. The multidisciplinary firm draws inspiration from the doers' expertise in the areas of design, art, and architecture. Based in New Delhi and New York, Abhinav and Jyoti collaborate on an international range of projects that scale from residential, workplace, retail, and hospitality to furniture design as well. They regard their clients as partners and value their voices to develop creative solutions with response to location, user experience, context. They explore ideas and deliver strongly formed contemporary design that are responsive and sustainable. Thank you, Jyoti and Abhinav, for being with A-Class today. And we have, I'm sure you're familiar with the format. I'll ask you a few quick questions, one last closing statement, and we'll take some questions from the audience if there are any. So feel free to interrupt me anytime. Otherwise, the panel is all yours. We are looking forward to hearing your inputs, your expertise, and your experiences with stone, of course. And the topic for today, again, for everybody is versatility of stone in interior and exterior spaces. So my first question is, obviously stone is a very versatile material, and within interior and exterior spaces, there's a lot that you can do. When it comes to working with stone, what are the characteristics that you look for?
Thank you so much, Tanya, and thank you, A-Class Marble, for having us here. And we're looking forward to this session with you. Going back to your question, choosing the right marble is a very important step in its own, okay? Just for that one simple reason that marble is so long lasting that it becomes really important to choose the correct material because you're not going to be changing it anytime soon. So the important characteristics are, I think first is understanding the nature of the marble. So marble, because it's a natural material, it is porous. It is all, some marbles are soft, some marbles are harder. We need to understand these natural qualities first, you know, before choosing it for a particular project or a kind of a space. Some marbles, it is okay to seal them for a specific space. Some marbles, because they are hard and they chip, they cannot be sealed. So these kind of characteristics, like if is it waterproof, is it heat proof, are I think the first, like the basic step before we you know, make a selection. We understand what are the requirements. Another
Yes, and hi Tanya again.
Hi.
Yes, and I believe that marble again plays a very important role in designing interior and exterior spaces these days, specifically because we have so much of good quality Italian marble, being given to us in whole lot of range. Like I would say, like crazy amount of range, to be very honest. And one of the major characteristics while selecting a marble, according to me, is that where our marble is actually being used. Are we actually using our marble for flooring, or are we using any highlighting marble for a wall cladding space, or these days we actually use our washrooms, in equivalence to our bedrooms or for any premium residences. So, like using travertine marbles or using any hard marbles, or even using onyx with, like for example, backlit. So actually, what sort of a marble needs to be used actually depends on where we are actually practically using the marble. So that's I feel that I take a lot of in terms of knowledge over that how can I select my marble, and that is generally based on the place where I'm using my marble, for a wall or a floor or a washroom or any highlighting space.
So actually, that is, I think we've naturally progressed to the next question, which is that, there marble being used for horizontal surfaces versus vertical surfaces. What are the different things one should take care of? And if you have done something interesting, whether it's in horizontal surfaces or vertical, would you like to share that with us?
Yes.
Okay. So I think when it comes to selecting a marble for a vertical and horizontal space, another important element that we will discuss is the color and the pattern of a marble. Okay, so suppose we're dealing with a large area, like a free flowing spread out space. I think we should stick to more neutral marbles, or a marble which has a very subtle vein, or a subtle grain in it. So that is like more effective and a little safe, but also because the nature of the space of like an open floor layout, for example. These days, a lot of modern apartments have the open floor layout. And if I have to make a choice for having just one marble throughout, I would go for a very safe neutral marble. And now, so talking again about vertical surfaces, if I have a small portion, a space that I want to highlight, I want to add a dramatic statement to it. Suppose it's an entrance foyer. In those cases, we can go with a more intense pattern, a more bolder color, to give it some definition, to give it some focus. And similarly, if we're talking about vertical surfaces, for us particularly, we consider using marble on vertical surfaces as a very luxury element. And it is not really done everywhere, but in certain cases when we have wall panelings made of marble, we would give it more definition and more focus. So we're more flexible and we're more fun when it comes to walls, and we play with patterns and more heavy colors as compared to the flooring. And another interesting thing where that can be done in terms of wall surfaces is you can play a lot with the textures. You can give it a more tumbled effect, a honed marble effect. Even the fluting textures,
Yes.
they look really beautiful in terms of, yes.
And adding to what JP is saying, like I believe that I myself have been, going a lot with my clients to procure, marbles from marble vendors again. So there I've seen that, you have very nice marbles which are called book match. So that, whenever you have two marbles laid together, they have a certain pattern flowing together in in the entire two slab together. So those kind of marbles are used a lot to actually highlight the wall, even if the marble is not like too much of grains in itself, or it's a nice basic marble, but two marbles of a different nature, but making a book match in itself, like highlights the walls like very nicely, to be honest. So
Right.
those sort of marbles are being used a lot in highlighting one of the bathrooms of powder bathroom, or any other master bathroom spaces.
So you've also, your work includes a lot of external, the design of external spaces, balconies, terraces, terrace gardens, or just gardens by themselves.
Yes.
What are the factors that one should keep in mind when you're sort of working in external spaces? And also, if again you could share some examples of what stones you use particularly while designing these external areas.
Okay. So, see, outdoor spaces are as important as indoor spaces now.
These days.
And earlier, we would personally like wish to get bigger projects like villas so that we would have some,
External spaces
outdoor
to be
spaces to
along with the
design.
indoor, yes.
And like when we started, we were particularly designing smaller apartments here in Delhi. And I personally would again like wish to design terraces.
So designing outdoor spaces has been JT's forte forever. Like she would be the best.
And then slowly we started designing terraces. Like we got a few apartment projects, they're connected to the terrace spaces. So those were like a first chance. That's how we started with outdoor spaces. And then slowly, so now the last 5-6 years, what makes me happy now is that we don't really wish to get villas. Even with the smaller apartments, people are they've understood the importance of outdoor spaces. And even if it's small scale balcony spaces, they're interested in revamping it, to designing it very carefully so that they at least get to lead a mixed sort of balance between indoor and outdoor spaces.
Right.
So now talking about marble, what we would suggest using, what we personally use is porcelain slabs, okay, granites and mixed composite marbles. So because these marbles, they're resistant against the UV rays of sun, and they don't really fade away.
So one of the important factors is terraces are again obviously outdoor spaces, but looking at the spaces we have in Delhi, generally the joints of a normal marble which is not suitable for the outdoor spaces would pop up in a year or so, and in the range of something, the entire floors below the terrace would, eventually lead to all the dampness. So generally, we always prefer using hard marbles, like in terms of we have Indian granites, we have Italian granites as well. And in terms of, I have used Fiandre, being provided by A-Class. Again, this is one of the very nice materials, which can be used definitely. So, and again, coming up with composite marbles are so much, in these days in terms of patterns. Like I've seen finishes coming up, like terrazzo, the chip flooring which used to be in 1970s, 80s, if I am actually correct. So that sort of finish is coming back again in composite marbles. So composite marbles, I feel, according to me, is one of the best marbles. You can have different finishes. You can sandblast them. You can have leather finish or whatsoever for a terrace. So yes, particularly if you ask me, then I would definitely go for a composite marble. But then yes, as a different option, we do have porcelain stone, we do have granites and other different forms of marble as well.
So
Uh,
the softer marbles, they lead to a lot of damage like etching, okay, because of the weather conditions.
yeah,
So the
I can
natural
hear.
materials, all right. Most of the natural softer marbles, no, they have a lot of damage because of the weather conditions, and
Yeah,
then there is a lot of etching that happens over time. So
right.
these harder marbles, Abhinav just mentioned, at least they're safe. They're safe in using outdoors, and just adding to these marbles, what we suggest personally is we can do a lot of different finishes to a given marble, to these outdoor granites. Particularly, like there is a honed effect, there's a tumbling effect, then there is the classic smooth finish, there's a leatherite finish. So these finishes really can change the look of a marble very drastically, and you
Yeah.
can use it according to your interior style, because they match with the contemporary space and they match with the classic like interior space as well. So, yeah.
That's
Just
very
last.
interesting. Yeah.
So basically, like again, for all the viewers, I believe that while selecting the marble for an outdoor space, I feel selecting marble is of equal importance as much as the kind of a finish you can actually give it on the marble. So like anyone who is selecting an outdoor marble should actually figure out what sort of finishes that marble can actually have once you apply them, rather than just going
Going
on the look of the
classics,
marble,
yeah.
or any basic polished marble.
Okay, so you also do a lot of, I mean, right from outdoor spaces, we now move indoors. You also do a
Yeah.
lot of furniture in stone, and you do countertops, and the this sort of detailed design elements. What are the things that one should keep in mind, and what is your approach as a design studio when you work with stone for these bespoke, unique sort of design elements?
Okay. So, we use marbles in most of our projects, okay, be it classical style or be it a contemporary space saving very basic apartment. um, so marble itself is such a flexible element that it's very easy to use. It is very easy to cohesively make any marble a part of your material palette of any space. So, be it freestanding, furniture elements like coffee tables and dining tables, we use a lot of marbles for um, the tabletops, and marbles for all the bar countertops, and also even very artistic furniture pieces, are really can be carved out of marble completely, like as a one standalone item, and that really can change the whole language of a space.
And so, like again, just adding to what Jyoti said. So earlier, again, I believe marble is always an accessory, like for for a furniture piece or a dining table. But now the usage of marble is not just restricted to that. Like we are able to carve complete countertop sinks, or a complete sinks based on a complete counter, out of a complete block of a marble. And similarly, like a lot of designing elements, like you have CNC cutting machines, where we generally cut out different designs from, like a 65 mm slab or a 75 mm slab, and do it for a pattern on a wall, and do it backlit. So like I feel that there are countless opportunities and countless number of designs we can actually do with marble. Marble is just like a five-letter word, but it creates thousands of countless designs, just like that. And specifically marble in terms of so like we do a lot of residences again per se. So marble does play a very important role in a bar, in a luxury bar or a luxury space, for a dining table, for example. So, like, we have so many opportunities, in terms of having countertops made out of marble, just not restricted to marble, but we can have inlay, we can have different inlay of different marbles into each other, in different marbles, or brass, or again, as I said, backlit countertops, in bars. So I really feel that marble has a lot of opportunities in terms of design as an accessory to a furniture or as an accessory to in itself, so we can actually make things out of complete marble.
That's a really good thought, actually. So you've also spoken earlier about, I think Jyoti spoke about using patterns and textures, right?
Yes.
Whether it's in interior spaces or outdoor spaces. Can you give us some tips on how one should play with these? I mean, when you're working with different textures, or even when you're combining different stones, and maybe you could share some examples of how you have played around with like completely contrasting stones, and what sort of aesthetics did you try and achieve?
Okay. So, so just giving an example, if marble is again a versatile material, and there was one instance when we were designing a classical space, and we didn't in that particular area we didn't have a marble flooring, and we really wished to add some element of marble, and then we decided to have uh, this open layout, like be separated with using very slender marble columns. So it's an open layout, but you still need to kind of segregate different functions in a space, and we did that using marble columns, and they don't have to be just very ornamental, but they can be still modern looking, and yeah, so we use marble as separators in a space. So just an example, marble can be used in so many ways. Another example, which is very interesting, is the traditional wainscoting that happened on the walls. It looks really beautiful, but then we tried using marble paneling on the walls in a similar way. You did detailing the way it is done on a wainscoting wall, and it works the same way because it is timeless, it is easy to maintain, it is durable, and it lasts you forever. Similarly, the chair rails in a room, these really little details can be done because they have a functional aspect to it, and even aesthetically they really work well. Marble comes in so many colors that it is not really it can be used to your advantage, and any different interior style that a space may have. So these are some examples.
And yes, so I would like to discuss, like, so for example, I really like having grand walkways, in an apartment or in a farmhouse, or what sort of a size, whatever apartment we have. So, like, generally, since the beginning, that everyone prefers, or as a designer, I would say, not everyone, but as a designer, I would say that I prefer having a grand walkway in spite of a modern or minimalism design of the entire apartment. And the first thing which comes to our mind in terms of having a grand walkway is having a eccentric pattern in marble, in the entire 10 feet, 15 feet, 20 feet walkway. And when we say about a pattern, we eventually mostly end up, combining different colors of marble. If it's, you would rather say Satvario, or, you would say gray marble, specifically gray William with, dark Emperador. So, like, again, white, black, gray, all of these marbles go very well together, in an entire very, you can, like, again, it's very difficult to actually combine all of them, in a single sentence. But then, yes, because of the colors of the marbles we have these days, it has become very easier, and it has become very ambitious to design very eccentric walkways because of the available colors of the marbles we have these days. So yes, marble plays a very important role in combining different marbles together or having different design and patterns for walkways.
And just adding to what
Yeah.
Abhinav mentioned right now, because we like making the entrance, foyers or transitional spaces in a home because they're very, really important. So we like to make them more dramatic and at least give them some sense of transition, some detailing, as compared to the other public areas of home. So we generally try, like how he said about the patterns and colors. We try bringing that element, another dimension to the spaces. Those spaces where we want more focus and want people to experience something.
It's just you feel so great walking on that platform, to be honest.
Yeah. So my last question for you today is, your portfolio is really versatile. You've done cafes, you've done spaces for kids, you've done, obviously a lot of residences, workspaces, and you do play a lot with colors as well as patterns and textures, right? How do you think stone as a material, helps you bring out your style through all of these products and projects that you do?
Okay. So thank you, Tanya. I would just say that for us, color has been
One of the most important
really,
elements for
yeah.
art while learning, while talking to people. I believe, for an interior space, color is everything. About colors, then I would say that if we go to space, I could find 1,000 colors in a different marble shade. So when we say colors, again, marble actually represents color, in any effective space for me. So if we want to use any form of color, I would say if I think of any color, probably I feel that that particular marble would be available in that form of color. Obviously not the same, but then in the same shade we want. So yes, colors are actually very important, and marbles are actually very in our design. That's what I feel.
And suppose when we started working, we didn't really think colors was as important. So this I'm talking like early, suppose 2014 when we started. Um, I think that time we would play safe. Okay, we would mostly use neutral colors,
Yes.
and this whole sense of colors came very slowly, very gradually as we worked on more projects and as we worked on more like different typology of projects, like ranging from say cafes. And offices and residences, so they all have a very very distinct design language that one should understand and should follow while designing different spaces. And so this whole understanding of colors came very slowly to us, and I think it is just the backbone of a space.
Yes.
Color is just more than something that you see visually. It is a very integral part of the whole structure of a space. So for us, function is another very important aspect that we follow, because see, I think I started by saying that we work on a lot of apartments, and these days you have growing families who are staying in an apartment. So their requirements out of a very small space is like never ending, and then we as designers have to somehow fulfill it, right? So our first focus used to be just functionality, that like my spaces have to be super functional, that even if my client wants to store an elephant in the room, there is space that they can do it. But then other, like I have to balance it with good aesthetics. So then the whole
The agenda of using functional
colors,
spaces with
yes.
good colors, and then obviously, see again, one of the best ways of actually making a space more luxurious, to be honest, while justifying the colors, is using of Italian marbles or stones, or any form of stones, I would rather say. So that's exactly how we started using a lot of marbles, because as we said that colors was the initial thing, which actually helped us grow, and we generally just loved using different sort of colors. and to actually justify that design, in terms of luxury, at least I individually started using a lot of stones to actually, give that satisfaction of using those particular colors in my own designs or in different projects.
Yeah.
So yes, I think colors are important, and as I said again, marbles perfectly correlate with colors because they do perfect justification to having different colors in a space.
That's really interesting. I'm just going to see. I think I'll see if there's some pertinent here. A lot of people have thumbs up. I think they've enjoyed the conversation. So, what can be done with marble leftovers? I mean, have you tried something like that? The leftover
Sorry?
stone. That is.
Leftovers.
Have you tried something with leftover stone?
So we personally try to use,
Every inch of marble left over at the site.
In the past, we have used, the tiny pieces of marble that are left. We've mostly used it to create coffee tables because, there's always room for more coffee tables or like these, tiny peg tables that can be moved around. So I think, yeah. So that is one option, and I think beautiful patterns can be made with the leftover.
Because I have personally, just like out of experience, so I have used a couple of marbles, which were just generally left over after the site. And there was one of the balconies which was, there. Obviously, we had to use some wooden decking. So I just thought, that the marble was luckily sufficient for both, for the entire balcony, the two combination. So, it was actually an entire waste till the time I actually, sat on the AutoCAD and, tried to draw it. Once I actually happened to draw it, it perfectly blended, and we were able to create good pattern. So very honestly, I feel that leftover marble can be used very effectively till the time you really want to use it. Otherwise, it's just a leftover piece of marble. But if you really want to use it, then I feel that you can you can carve a clock out of it, man. Like really, marble. Yes. Can be.
I think I have personally not quite done that much, but I think it can be used to make accessories. So these little pieces that really go well with the other marble that is used in a space. So just a very small example, like I personally, as a designer, I like to coordinate my artworks with my space. Okay, so in a space, if I'm using like a set of colors in a and a material palette, if my artworks, if there's a planter, like these, I don't want to put in too many things in a space, but whatever things there are, they need to be very balanced and they need to make perfect sense as a overall composition. Like everything that's there, that needs to be very thoughtfully there. It's just like not like. It's a standalone thing. It's there.
Marble can be, so I just, Jyoti just said, so I just remembered, like there was certain pieces of marble left, and I ended up like, making like a photo frame of that entire marble on a piece of wall, and having a nice monochrome as an artwork, So it just depends on the ideas and your need, how you want to use the leftover marble.
Can you hear me? Yeah. Okay, I think it might come back. Yeah, it's fine. Cool. That's really interesting. Thank you so much. Last words from you. We are following the hashtag Let's Talk Design. So, what are your if you had to say one thing about using stone in design, what would that one statement be?
Okay. I think stone is an integral part of interior design, and it is something that we really cannot sideline for sure.
Like, yes, if you ask me, then I would rather say it's hard to believe that you can design without marble. That's so it's if you talk about the hashtag what's the hashtag? Sorry.
Let's talk design.
Let's talk design.
Let's talk design.
Yeah. So exactly. So marble, yes. Again, as a last word, I would say marble is very, very important. Not just saying, but it is actually very important, and people who are designing would definitely understand, and, for the viewers as well. But yes, I would say that, I, as a designer, cannot imagine my spaces without using marble anywhere. Like, just like a little space or a bigger space doesn't matter. But yes, marble is just a lot of important for a project.
I would just stick to, I always say stone is timeless because I truly believe it is. Because we both are young designers, and when we were studying, we learned about how using stones originated and how it kind of became the most necessary element in a home. And then I read articles about how modern homes don't really feature marbles anymore.
Yes.
And then slowly we read how marble is making a comeback in modern homes. So I think stone is timeless. It never really went out of style. It's always going to be there.
Yeah, that's very true. Like we had marble 70 years back, and probably next 70 years we would have marble for sure.
So on that note, thank you so much for joining us in our journey of discovering marble and how it's a timeless material. Thank you for being a part of this journey with A-Class. A-Class is celebrating 50 years this year being in the industry. So as a gesture from our side, they're going to plant a tree on your behalf. You'll be getting a certificate. Yeah, so you'll be getting a certificate as well, just to celebrate this fabulous legacy. And thank you for being a part of the A-Class journey. And thank you for being here with us today. Thank you so much.
Sure.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tanya. Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
A-Class. Yeah.
And thank you for all the viewers.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.